Welcome everyone to the Millionaire Imprint for Women. I'm Kornelia Stephanie, your host, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Dawnette Palmore. Welcome to the show, Dawnette.
Welcome. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be a great show.
It's going to be a great show, and I just want to let the audience know that you are the one that's coming on the last Friday of every month, and you're the one that creates the content for this show. You created the content, you created the segments, and also you brought us a special guest today that we're going to introduce here in a little while. But first, I want to let everybody know what this show is going to be about today. 2020, this is where we're at. Can you believe it? We're moving into 2020, a brand new decade, right?
So exciting.
So exciting. And you are bringing us the topic of being able to refocus our energy on finances, health, and career. You're talking about us doing that inner work. Because you said, as we walk into a new decade and a new year, what are some of the tangible, quick tools that we can do in the area of our finances, our health, our career, and in ourselves to make this year the starting point to the rest of our lives? I mean, that is awesome. So this show is going to be about helping you, the beloved audience, on how to refocus. And we want to engage with you. So Dawnette, tell us, what does refocusing mean? What does that mean?
Refocusing means to adjust the focus or focus on something new or different. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing. Instead of focusing on the past or what didn't work, we need to focus and readjust what we're looking at so that we can live the life that we want to live, the life that we desire.
Yes. I mean, this is what we're doing. We are creating a legacy that we can be proud of, right?
Exactly.
That's what it is. We're creating a legacy that we can be proud of, and that we want to leave behind, a legacy that we want to leave behind. And that takes a lot of consciousness. It takes consciousness. You said it in the notes. You said that we really need to be able to look at everything to be able to see what is it that we want now. And a lot of it has to do with the way that we deal with our finances. I mean, the way we deal with our finances is the way we deal with everything. It's because it's energy. It's energy. Right. And a lot of times I always find that when we move into a new year, and then it's, like middle of January, I find that people get really, really depressed right around that time, like January 15th, January 16th, because there is that looming big elephant in the room that hasn't been addressed and that hasn't been dealt with. And we're going to help people do that. Isn't that right?
That's right. And that's also about the time that all those credit cards start coming in, right? From all over the holidays, all the things that we have done that we probably shouldn't have. We didn't pay attention, and now we're stuck with the consequences. So this year is just going to be about refocusing and how can we prevent that? How can we prepare for all that? So next January 15th won't be the same as this January 15th.
That's one of the things, like this year, I feel I'm so proud of this. Like this year as an entrepreneur, this whole year, I have really upped my game in my bookkeeping, in my business bookkeeping, and I did the work. And like literally at the end of, on December 31st, right? All we need to do is just click the button and it's done. I mean, that's how my accounting has been this year in my business, which has really truly been my first year of where I got it. I stayed the course and I did the work, because that's how important it is to me. And that is, because I want to live in financial freedom. And in financial freedom, living in financial freedom, that means that we have to really look at everything that's going on, how we spend our energy, what is our why, what is it that we're trying to accomplish, what is it that we want to do? And when you say, what's your what's the whole next year going to be about? It's about the choices you make today.
Absolutely. And good for you. Congratulations on that, because I know business finances are not one of my favorite things to deal with, but I've been on top of mine as well. And it's such a relief that when it's time to hand those papers in, all you have to do is print it and say, here you go to your accountant. So
yeah, and it's really cool. I just want to let the audience know that, if you're an entrepreneur and, if you're looking for accounting help with your business, send me a private message on Instant Messenger and I can help you out. I have a really, really great person that charges reasonable money to help with, setting the foundation, which is really important. So, Dawnette, you have a very special guest. When did you want to bring our guest on? Did you want to wait until another segment, or?
Yeah, so I have two special guests today.
Oh, you do?
One is going to be a transformational nutritional coach, and the other one is a career coach. So I wanted to start with giving people some tools on how they can refocus for this new year. It's nothing new, but sometimes we have to hear it again and again, right? And then one day it sinks in. So one of the first things we have to do is start with why. And Simon Sinek hits right on that, right? We got to know what we want to accomplish and why we want to accomplish it. What's driving us? Because when it gets hard, and it will, we need to know what we're working for. And if we don't have that why, we're going to get discouraged and distracted, right? We're going to fall off the track. For me, my why is my family. I want to create time freedom so that I could spend every moment I can with them, because they are so, so precious to me. And also to help my husband. He has worked so hard for us for so many years, just to be able to let him live his dream, which is to be a caterer. And I would just love to be able to do that. So that's what I am working towards. And that's what keeps me going every single day. Another thing we need to do is make sure that we don't set too many goals. If we have a long list, our attention's going to be on too many things and we're going to thin out and we're not going to get anything accomplished. So make sure that we keep it to about 5 or 7 things that we want to accomplish in the year. Then we need to look at the big picture, right? Start with the end in mind. What is the end goal? And let's work backwards from there. What do we need to do today to take a step towards each one of the goals that we have set?
Yeah, I love that. And I just want to let the audience know, to type in when you're looking at this later on YouTube, type in to the chat, what's your why? What is your why? You know why this is so important to answer that question, aside from what Simon says, and is you have an accountability partner right there that's asking you a question, somebody that really cares and wants to know. We want to know. We want to know. We want to know. We want to know your why. So type in your why. Why? What's important to you? Like you said, I love what you said. Your family. Your family is important. That you just love your family so much. And then your husband, he's been there supporting you guys, and that now you want to make some space so that he can really fully step into his passion more, right? Because isn't that the legacy?
Yeah, absolutely. That's so exciting. Yes, you guys share your why. One, because we need to put it out there, right? We need to put it out there because then things will start working for us so that we can achieve those. Another thing, when we're setting our goals, we need to set, I know we've heard of SMART goals, but what about smarter goals? So be specific. We all know that one, right? We have to know exactly what we want to accomplish. So I will write a book is not a good specific. It's I want to write a book proposal for how to gain control of my finances or your finances, right? And then make it measurable. We have to be able to measure or quantify the results so we know without a doubt whether we've hit that goal or not. So I'll earn more money than last year. That really doesn't tell us anything, but I will earn $5,000 more than last year tells us exactly what the goal is, and we will know at the end of the year if we've hit that or not. Actionable. Every goal should start with an action verb instead of a to be verb. So I will be more consistent in blogging. is not a good one, but I will write 2 blog posts per week is an actionable goal. And then R, risky. A goal should stretch us, but not break us. So I'm sure everybody's heard the success is right outside our comfort zone. We have to get outside that comfort zone. I've been working on that all year, stepping outside my comfort zone, doing things that make me uncomfortable. And it has opened doors, you guys, that are unbelievable. And this podcast is one of them.
It is. How big has that been? It's been so great. I mean, you totally stretched into it, didn't you?
Yes, and it's been amazing. So again, not saying I'm going to increase my sales by 2% because we can all do that, right? But maybe 10 or 15%, really stretching yourself. And then of course, time, right? We always have to put a time limit on something, like a due date. When do we plan on achieving it? I want to lose 20 pounds. I will lose 20 pounds by June 30th is the way it should be. And then make it exciting, right? I think this is one of the most important parts because we want to make sure that we're excited about the goals we set and that there are goals, that we're not trying to achieve something that somebody else wants us to achieve, but it's something that we truly want. So I will take another 1-week summer vacation. It should be, I will take a 2-week vacation to Italy. Make sure that gets you fired up. And then it has to be relevant. Our goals need to be relevant or aligned with our values, season in our life. So I want to start a new business at the same time I want to get my master's degree. Those are 2 big things that should probably be separated. So you would want to pick one or the other, right? Again, you want to set things that will stretch you, but not break you.
Right. You don't want to be overwhelmed to where you get paralyzed and don't do anything.
That's right. And all of this has to be written down. And I know we've heard that time and time again. A goal that isn't written down is just a wish. And this is so true because we are stating our intention and we are setting things in motion when we put that on paper and we're looking at every day. We are holding ourselves accountable when we post that up there and saying, did we do something to move towards what it is we are trying to create? And of course, share them with people who are committed to helping you achieve them. Sometimes we'll share our goals and people will be like, okay, yeah, right. Kornelia, I know you and I have a big similar goal that's really, really big. And sometimes you tell people that and they're just like, okay. So we have to know there's only certain people we could share those goals with, right? Who are going to get it and who are going to encourage us and help us to get in the direction that we need to go to achieve that.
Yeah, I love that because the part is that if you don't have that strong person, that one person that really believes in you and that wants to see you reach beyond that bar, that sees in you a greater vision, that's the person, your accountability partner, your success coach. Us here, you can share with us right here, when you're listening to this podcast later on the YouTube, or if you're seeing it on the Facebook page, share with us what your goals are. If you want to witness to your life, what's your why? What is your goal? Type it in and definitely share it because we're holding the space for you, right?
Right. And we definitely want to help you in any way we can to help you succeed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We want to see you guys win, and we want to see everybody living their purpose. I mean, like I said in the last podcast, what a wonderful world we would live in if we were all living our purpose.
Yes. And that is helping us find out what our why is, right? What is our why helps us to align with our purpose. So it's so great. So I feel like we skipped the first break. And so we'll just keep going now.
We tend to do that.
I know. It's just like, okay. We skipped the break. So we're now already in segment 2. And do you want to talk to us about what segment 2 is about, Dawnette?
Segment 2 is going to be, Maria is going to be speaking. She's the transitional nutritional coach. She has written a couple of books. She is an amazing woman who I get to work with every single week. We are becoming good friends and good colleagues, and it is my honor and pleasure to introduce her. Maria, you probably want to unmute.
Welcome to the show, Maria. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you. I am so glad and happy to be here.
Thank you. Tell us what it is that you do.
I work as a transformational nutrition coach, and I love that you were talking about why today, because that's often where what I do begins with. Why do you want to make a transformation in your nutrition or in your health? And I used to really just focus in the fitness and nutrition aspect of it, of let's get your body healthy and let's eat food. And what I found out was it really was a transformation. And it was more of a triangle of sorts in transforming your health, that it was about the nutrition, absolutely, the science of nutrition, but it was also about the psychology, almost bringing your why into it, the psychology of why you wanted to do this, to allow that transformation in your health and in your nutrition to last long term. Because a lot of people focus on losing weight, and unfortunately 95% of people who lose weight gain it back within 2 years. So I knew there was a disconnect there, and that's where the psychology part came in. And then the third part was really the spirituality end of it, is really reconnecting to yourself. And if we can put the three of those together, with the nutrition, the mindset of the psychology, and the spirituality with yourself, then you're really able to create a healthy, nourishing lifestyle for the whole self.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'm loving, the goal setting, segment 1, getting our why, knowing what it is that we want to do, getting our finances, and then of course now starting with the nutrition, because again, our physical body houses our spirit. And if we don't have our physical body feeling and looking good to ourselves, then that's where the work is. That's where the heaviness comes in. And so the nutritional piece is huge. So I'm glad that you're sharing this with us, Maria.
Wonderful. Yeah, you said it perfectly. It's the vehicle through where we're experiencing life. So we want to make sure, like a car, that our vehicle is running top notch so we can continue moving forward in our destination.
Great. Okay, Dawnette. So how do you want to have Maria share this next part of the segment?
Well, I know she wanted to talk. I know she has some stuff she wants to talk about.
Yeah, I could just kind of continue on with what you were talking about in the why. I love that, especially as we move into the new year.
Okay, do that.
And I could share with you an acronym that I love to use in setting up your why in the health aspect of it. And one of the things I like to say is, my goal is, one of my whys is to feel good. So I feel good is one of my goals to continue on in 2020. And I felt that last year, but it's always good to continue that. And if we're not feeling good, what can we do to get there or stay there? So I start with that acronym of I feel good, so we can remember this easily. So with the I, really remember what your intention is or what your why is. Why do you want to make this change? And focus on that. And then the second part is remembering the foundation, as we talked about just earlier. That's the vehicle through which we're experiencing our life. So it's important to have that strong foundation. So how do we build upon that? And that's where I come in, helping you understand how to eat right, to eat for the energy that you want to share with the world, to eat for the energy that you want to feel so you can accomplish the things that you want to do. So I'll often, teach ways to understand how to eat whole foods, understand how to read food labels. For example, on a food label, we often just look at the front of the packaging and it might say natural on it, and we pick that up. But if we take a moment and turn that package around and understand what is nourishing about this, maybe looking at the label of the food that is actually in there, are they things that you can understand? Do you know what it is? Or are they words that you don't know? Oftentimes, they're secret words for sugar. So understanding that, you want to know what those words are on that label as an important thing in that aspect. And then really another important thing to focus on is, moving your body, right? Exercise, that would be the next part of the acronym, because exercise will empower you. So if you're eating the right foods to nourish your body, then you'll feel good to get that movement in and exercise.
Yeah, and I think it really helps that when I like that, I feel good. I feel good is the secret to life.
Yeah,
Mm.
Honestly, I really feel that I feel good is the secret to life, because when you feel good, you feel happy. That's,
absolutely.
I mean, you feel happy, you're in your joy. I feel good. That's it. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. To be able to say I feel good from that place of being at peace and being calm, feeling good. Now what's happening is your physical body is vibrating and sending out positive vibrations into the quantum field because of how you feel. How can people get in contact with you, Maria? And what is it that you're offering people? I heard you say you teach people how. Do you have, is there a free giveaway today for the audience? Is there something that people can go take a look at?
Yes, there is a free giveaway. It's at mariamizzi.com, and it's /transformational talk radio. And what I'm giving away is something called a hunger scale. So you can understand how you're feeling when you need nourishment for your body and when you need nourishment more maybe for your emotions or your thoughts or your spirituality. And with that, I'm giving away a few recipes that will nourish you in all those ways. And one of them is my butternut squash stew, which is great for the fall and winter months. And to pair with that is what I call a mocktail. It's a cheerful champagne mocktail with ingredients in it that will as well empower you to feel good in your body and outside.
So if your goal is this year, 2020, you just set the goal because Dawnette helped you to get clear on your goal, what it is, and that by June of 2020 that you want to be in the best physical shape of your life. You've already set your goal, and now Maria is offering you the beautiful scale and the beautiful recipes, and also an opportunity to work with a coach, an accountability partner, somebody that can help you achieve that. I think that's a big piece, is that we all need that accountability partner. Somebody that works out with us, or somebody that holds the bar up high, or somebody that holds us accountable, even if it is just through email or phone or whatever, if it's not in person. I think that's a really important piece, and both of you ladies are offering your services to everyone so that they can refocus their life and take care of their body, take care of their finances, take care of their goals, right?
I think also we need somebody to help us not quit.
Yeah.
Somebody that's going to push us. That's important as well. I know I need that in my life.
Yeah, it's like that's exactly it. That's exactly not quitting. A lot of times, we've tried so many things and it didn't work, or whatever it is, or then the self-sabotaging program comes up, or a habit comes back to again be overridden or transcended, and it's like, and then you give up and then you let go. But 2020 truly is a year where we can master all of those things that we haven't been able to master in the past, and now is the time. The support is here, the information is here, and all you need to do is just get your yes, and get a move on.
That's the first step, is to make a choice, right? Make the choice that you want this year to be yours. You're going to claim it. You're going to live a different life than you have before. We are not only stepping into a new year, but a new decade. I mean, this is so, so exciting. And what a better way to do it than to get right with your finances, get right with your nutrition and your body, and also make sure that you're happy in your career and you love what you do. And Daryl's going to come on and start talking about that pretty soon as well.
That's huge. That's huge. I mean, we have it all in one place. You have it all right here in one place. If you just do everything that is offered here in this one podcast today, in this one space, she already said it. You have your finances, which is a really important thing. The way that you do one thing is the way you do all things. So making sure that you really take a look at where you are financially so that you're not depressed and that you're not waking up in the middle of the night, not being able to sleep because you don't know how to take care of your bills or whatever it is. But by really being courageous and looking at it, and then your physical body, really nourishing. Those are the words that you use, Maria, which I love, nourishing the soul, nourishing the body, nourishing the finances, nourishing yourself with love and the proper exercise and the best food. And then, of course, when we bring on our next guest, Daryl, and he's going to be talking about our career, which is also a big, huge thing. So you got it all in one place. So why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we're gonna bring Daryl on, and then we're gonna let everybody know again where to get these amazing support giveaways today, and we'll be right back.
Are you an entrepreneur who's struggling to be seen? Do you know deep in your gut that if you could just be seen and get your message out, that you'd easily reach your tribe? How wonderful would it be if a fairy godmother came along, waved her magic wand, and suddenly you were more than visible. You were dazzling. Would you sign up for that? Hi, I'm Deborah Lupien, spiritual teacher and international best-selling author of Akasha Unleashed, The Missing Manual to You. I'm here with the wonderful news that such a person actually exists. Her name is Kornelia Stephanie, and she's gifted at helping entrepreneurs become dazzling. I've watched her work her magic over and over to turn invisible entrepreneurs into dazzling stars who easily attract their ideal clients and have fun doing it. Not long ago, I was the recipient of her gift. As a guest on her show, Living Heaven on Earth, not only did we have fun, but Kornelia helped me get my message out to a wider audience, which resulted in a very nice spike of traffic to my website and more subscribers to my list. Did I mention it was incredibly easy? Kornelia's running a veritable media empire of uplifting programs. They cover a broad range of topics and have a large appreciative audience. That's a winning combination, folks. Guess what? Those shows need guests and hosts. Imagine, after guesting on a few shows, moving up to hosting your own popular show. That is absolutely possible for you. So now you have a decision to make. Are you going to keep struggling on your own, or are you going to sign up for some Kornelia Stephanie dazzling visibility magic? Email radio@korneliastephanie.com today.
Welcome back. We are refocusing our energy for 2020. We're going to create a legacy that we're proud of. And we're talking about our finances. We're talking about our physical body. And now we're talking about our career, really how to get our whys totally dialed in and honed in. Dawnette, would you like to introduce us to our beautiful guest?
I would love to. This is Daryl Gunry. He is the career guy. He is going to talk about what is the game you want to play in the new year. He has a phenomenal game that he plays with people. And he's going to actually just be trailing off what we already said, right? Our why. What are we trying to accomplish? What are we trying to do? And this goes with any area in our lives. If we don't know why, again, we may start doing it. We might, this is the New Year's resolutions, right? We want to do these certain things, but we really don't know why we want to do them. And then we end up falling off the wagon. So Daryl plays a game to help people really get focused on that. So Daryl?
Hi. So first off, I'm just honored to be in the midst of such transformational females today, and glad to be here. At least I'm in the middle of all of y'all on my screen, which is cool. So I am the founder of CareerGuy.com, theback40.com, and DreamJobLife.com. And what I do is I work with folks in creating the careers and businesses. Maria is really about the body and the nutrition and the mind that is involved in that. And Dawnette's about the finances and the mind that's involved in that. And I'm all about what you're actually doing day in, day out, whether it be a business or a career, and the mind that's involved in that. And so on the one hand, I support folks in career transition. I wrote an Amazon bestseller called Never Apply for a Job Again.
Oh, that's great.
Break the rules, cut the line, beat the rest. And it's really about doing something different than everyone else. You know, most people who are looking for a job are applying for jobs, or they're looking for what's open, versus what I promote is what I call a stealth or a backdoor approach, which is all about connecting. It's about relationships, because 80% of all jobs are filled before they're ever advertised. So for every one opening you see, 4 others got filled by people who know people. And so I work with professionals. I just spoke to an MBA program in Tennessee last week, teaching people how to use this relationship-based method for making a career change. It also applies, though, for building a business, because I actually know both of these wonderful women through a business networking group called BNI, and founded by Dr. Ivan Meisner. And we know as business people that it happens in relationship. And so the same principles that people use in Never Apply for a Job to go out and make connections can be used to build a business. One thing I just want to say that I think is very cool, no one's touched on it yet, but you've all probably heard it, but I think it's the theme of what we're talking about, is 2020 symbolizes perfect vision, seeing clearly. And so, as we go into 2020, it's been discussed here in kind of different forms, but we don't like Dawnette said, we don't want to focus on the past. We do want to learn from the past. And so we focus on it only enough to see what we've learned, so that we can play a bigger game in the new year. And one of the things that Dawnette mentioned was the whole game idea. So I have a method of coaching called play game coaching. And what it's really about, and a lot of people will come up with resolutions, or they'll come up with how they're going to make their changes, and they'll come up with lists and tasks. And lists and tasks only go about so far. It's kind of been coming around a few times in the podcast so far that the why's got to be in place. Like, what's the real transformation that we want to bring about for ourselves? And then I am a believer that we grow most in an environment of play versus hard work. And so in a play game coaching model, it's really about getting outside your comfort zones, not by being forced to, but by being inside of an environment that creates that kind of openness to play again. 5-year-olds, 7-year-olds, they get out in the yard and they play a game, and they fall down, they skin their knee, they cry, but they get up and they play again. And I think a lot of times in business, there's this idea of not looking good, or I might fail, or, I'm of the opinion you want to fail forward fast. Mm-hmm. You want to, keep designing games and keep falling over and getting up and huddling. Y'all have talked about accountability. You've talked about having your team. You want to have your team so that you can see what there was to learn and get on the field and play again. And so one element I guess I would lead people with as they go into the new year is an idea that I call play first. A lot of times, because people are in their comfort zones and they want to have every I dotted or T crossed, they won't even get on the playing field until they know they're going to succeed.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? That's not playing. And you can't learn until you get on the playing field. So I tell people, play ugly, play dirty, get in the mud, skin your knee, and then get up and see, how did I play? What can I learn to move forward? Kornelia, I love that you said this year you did your accounting differently. And you've been in business many years.
Mhm.
And, you know, Dawnette's, you know, playing, there's always a game for us to play.
Mhm.
May look good on the outside, but we've got games that we're playing inside. And so I say, play ugly, play dirty, but get on the playing field and play.
I love that. I love the whole play piece, because that is actually what we need to do, especially with building our legacy. In the old world, you know, we were so stuck on, you know, everything has to be so hard, and that we're not playing enough. We have to give that inner child uh, also room to play and come out and make mistakes. And that's what I heard you say when you know, when people want to have everything all perfect before they begin playing. It's like, no, we have to be vulnerable and get out there and be willing to go, oops, you know, hey, I'm having a great time, you know, to be able to do that, just like we're doing here. You know, it's like we're putting ourselves out there. We're talking about, you know, our passions, what it is that moves us, what it is that turns us on. And play is an important part of our legacy.
And it makes
You
everything
know, it's
so much
interesting.
funner, doesn't it?
Sorry?
It makes everything so much funner.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, you look at a lot of the new technologies are created by 20-year-olds because they're just, you know, they're not even operating like they should know, or that, you know, what's it going to look like if I fail and all this stuff. They're just playing. And so part of my next book that'll be coming out this year called The Back 40, it's about people creating their second half of life as their best half in career and purpose and everything else. But the idea is, you know, sometimes people get 40, 50, or 60, they close down. They already know who they are and, you know, what they're like. And, you know, they know the way the world is, the way men are, the way women are. And I say, no, that creates a closed, you know, system, as opposed to, you know, what if we could operate like 20-year-olds and just play and not be, you know, operate outside of the concern of what's going to look like when I fall down. Because if we're going to have our second half be our best half, you got to experiment, you got to learn new skills, you got to take on, you know, things newly, because you don't know it all yet as much as you think you should.
I think that's so important too. We have to give ourselves permission to fail. And it's the way we learn. We don't learn by everything being perfect. We learn by failing and making mistakes. And how can we make it better the next time? We hear this all the time. All these great inventors of different things, and how many times they failed before they got it right. But for some reason, we just expect perfection from ourselves, and we really need to give ourselves permission to fail.
Yeah, I don't know who said this quote, but it's called "fail forward." I don't know, but I've heard it before. Fail forward, you know. And you're talking about this play. You know, we had Jack Canfield on the show the other day. He's 75, and he's writing 3 books in 2020. And he said that he has no desire whatsoever to retire, none. And he goes, "I'm not going to retire. I'm going to just keep going." And that's pretty much what you're saying too, is that, you know, the second half of our life right now that we're here, we know things, we know more things that we didn't know when we were younger. But you said the key piece, and that is not to close down, but open up and become more childlike, open up and become more joyful, open up and become more cheerful, and have more fun. And
you know,
even
the word retire, Kornelia, because I mentioned it in the book, The Back 40, the Latin roots of retire is to draw back. Mm-hmm. And so my goal for myself, and ideally for those who are inspired by it, is play forward, don't draw back. And, you know, there's this, society tells us about this bell curve of, as we get older, that after 40 or 50 or 60, your best is behind you. But see, Jack Canfield is demonstrating that, well, what if that bell curve is just a belief system? It's just BS. And what if we could play up and out versus down and out? And what if our best is yet to come, but it's going to take getting on the playing field, trying new things, giving up your ideas of who you are and what you're capable of, and giving up ideas of your fixed pictures of the way the world is.
Yeah, I love that. You know, it's about allowing yourself to, because I always say, I'm just beginning. I am just beginning. You know, I'm just beginning now. And that whole thing that you said about the belief system, that's what it is. It's how we've been conditioned. So let us now tell the audience, because I know you all have information to share with the audience. You've got a book, Daryl, that is a #1 bestseller. And I love that, because here's the truth. Many people will be quitting their jobs next year. Many things will be closing down. Many structures will be falling. So you're going to be a busy guy with helping people. So let us give the audience the perfect links, the perfect information on how they can find out more about what it is you're talking about.
Okay, cool. Well, on the career side, whether it be entrepreneurial or on, the corporate transition side, they go to Career Guide, GUI, careerguide.com/free. There's 3 ebooks there about this whole stealth method and a little bit about the back 40. If people are looking to create their second half as their best half and purpose and everything, they can go to theback40.com. It's FORTY, theback40.com/free. And there's 3 ebooks there about expanding your mind, top 10 tips for a radical second half. And I also have a $50 off for the new year. If folks are interested in a session, they go to careerguide.xyz. So that's my scheduling page. And I'm honored to be with y'all, and I'm honored for us all to be talking about how 2020 can really be something extraordinarily beyond what's come before.
Love it. Love it. What about you, Maria? Bring us back. Tell us again everything that we need.
Absolutely. It's mariamizzi.com/transformational talk radio. And I do have a coaching program that is on a monthly basis where we meet on a similar stage like this for Zoom. So it's good for anybody around the world. And that's at mariamizzi.com.
Great. And then beautiful Dawnette, what do you have? You have a coaching package. What is it? A Refocus package, a 3-month package?
So a couple of things. Okay. I actually have, and I don't have the links memorized, but I know that they'll be posted. One is a why worksheet to really, it's a free worksheet you could download, and you can write out what is your why, find out what it is, what's driving you. The second thing I did was create a 2020 Refocus accountability group. So we're going to use that why worksheet. We're going to set some goals together, and we're going to hold each other accountable. And there'll be that accountability, there'll be that support, and it'll all be there. It's $97 a month. We meet twice a month. It's a group coaching, so it's going to be a ton of fun.
Oh, I love that. Now, could you say that where we can access that link again?
There should be a link on the host page.
On the host page.
Yeah,
okay.
On the host page, there's links there. I didn't memorize them.
No, that's okay.
I wasn't that good.
Yeah, we'll make sure we'll put the links on below. And I wasn't planning on saying this, but I'll say it now. I also have a challenge for you all. I have a 21-day challenge on how to release the emotional triggers and how to, raise your vibration every day in 10 minutes per day from the comfort of your own home, so that you can really fully tap into your inner strength and your inner power. It's $21 for 21 days, $1 a day to really help you become emotionally secure and stable within yourself. And you can get that link on my website at korneliastephaniegott.com. And it's the 21-day challenge. And the 21-day challenge is about the negative thoughts that we have. We think up to 60,000 thoughts every single day, and a lot of those are negative thoughts. And so I challenge you not to do that anymore, and to collapse those programs and rise up, and just by making the choice that I'm only going to think loving thoughts. And that by June of 2020, that's handled, and that's a done deal. And it truly is an amazing thing when you make that, when you set that goal for yourself, because it's happened to me, is that as a transformational coach, ascension guide, teacher, business coach, all the different things that I do, I had to watch my own inner dialogue of how I was communicating with myself. And when I noticed that I was still not as soft and as sweet and as kind as I would be towards my partner or towards other people, that's when I realized, oh, I need that automatic program to be, yes, babe, gotcha, babe, love you, got it, thanks a lot. I need that to be like that, and that needs to be the automatic. So the 21-day challenge can help you do that, to really change that inner negativity, that dialogue that we all have. It's our human condition. You know, we weren't born and raised in positivity. We were born and raised to transcend it. And that's really the truth. And we can. So what do we got? We have a few minutes left, you guys. What do you want to say?
I would love for everybody to give 3 tips on how people can make this a phenomenal year.
Go ahead, Daryl.
Well, I'll make this one of my tips. To treat yourself like Kornelia is by having your inner dialogue call you babe. That's just the bomb there. And the other tip I would say is, you know, we've talked about it quite a bit here, but actually take time during the remainder of this year to reflect back, complete, like, you know, be done. Thank you for the lessons 2019. Write up the plan with the why, and make sure you set yourself up with accountability. Accountability and a team is key for you getting where you want to go next year, because we all think we can do it on our own, but we're just not going to get as far without a team.
Maria?
Love that. Yes, so 3 tips I think I would say is do some journaling. Kind of see where you are now so you can reflect on that for a moment, and then begin to create a strategy would be the second part, so you can strategize where you want to go in the new year. And then the third thing would be to put that into action and almost maybe doing a restock of what you've currently done that isn't working, and restock it with something that is going to work.
I love those. So I would say mine would be download that why worksheet, fill it out. The second thing is to get away and set goals. I am actually leaving today for the weekend with my husband to go goal set for the rest of our lives.
The rest of your lives?
The rest of our lives. So we want to goal set on what we want to accomplish and how can we work our way to get there this year. John Maxwell, who is an awesome writer as well, has written over 70 books. He gets away the day after Christmas. He locks himself away for 3 days in his office. He reflects on what he did that year, but then he refocuses and sets goals for what he's going to do the next year. And then, of course, put it on paper, write it down, put it out there, make an action plan.
You know, these are all such wonderful goals and such wonderful tips that you all have shared, that I just want to top everything that you said, that you know, all the people that are listening to this, take advantage of these amazing tips and these gifts that our guests have shared with us today. And, you know, follow through, make a choice to live your best life, to see the world through the beauty that you are, to see yourself the way that God sees you, the truth of who you are, see yourself that way, and really fully step into, you know, the best life that you came here to live. Go to KorneliaStephanie.com and look at the 21-day challenge. It offers you a daily practice for gratitude, raising your vibration. These are 21-day meditations that I created for people to really check in what their triggers are, to come from a place of I am abundant, I am love, I am worthy, I am confident, from those beliefs that are true, and let go of all the beliefs that are not, in less than 10 minutes a day, and build your foundation on core values that you truly support by the choices that you make today. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. I hope that our guests that are here today, Maria and Daryl, that you come back again. And we thank you so much, Dawnette, for bringing them here for our beloved audience. And everybody too, comment on the YouTube video so that we can continue and carry on a dialogue with you. This podcast is going to be going to over 50 plus media outlets, and it's also being loaded up to 5 different YouTube channels. So we want to be your accountability partners. You know, talk to us about your why, have any questions on nutrition, have any questions to Daryl about your career, or to Dawnette about finances. And then put the Kornelia Stephanie show every Friday, 12 to 2. We're talking about all these good things that can help you create a legacy that you can be proud of. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Dawnette.
Thank
Okay.
you guys. Thank you guys all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Hi, my name is Janet Hickox, and I want to tell you a little story about a story and how my friend Kornelia Stephanie helped me through to the other end of that story. I have gone from the dark of a story I was telling myself that wasn't true to the light of optimism to see my way out of where I was and to where I want to go. And it all started with her scheduling a session for me to help me reclaim my money or my financial empowerment. Up until that point, I had been telling the story that my business was dying, that my business was not successful anymore. And the more I tried to figure out what was going on, the worse I felt about it. And when I had to get ready to do the session with Kornelia, she asked me to go look at the numbers and where I was through the year to date, and then also to come prepared with a number that I wanted to raise my income to. Well, I was quite comfortable with that part, right? I knew where I wanted to be. What I wasn't comfortable with doing is going and looking up those numbers. But I made myself do it, even though I tried to backpedal my way out of the session. She didn't know that, but I was going to try to get myself out of the session. And I looked up those numbers, and it was incredible that I discovered through that process that my business wasn't dying. In fact, I was doing 12% better than I had the year before. So I was shocked. I was shocked literally at the power of the story that I had been telling for months. But more than that, I was shocked that I had allowed myself to get there. And later in that day when I had my session with Kornelia, she pointed out some very obvious things like, how are you going to get where you want to go if you don't know where you want to go? How are you going to get there if you don't have the goals written out, if you don't have it set up so that you know where you are and where you're going to go? Totally makes sense, right? I had been in business, somebody else's business, as a sales manager for years, and I was a national sales manager. I had awards for sales management. I had business awards because of numbers. And yet when it came to doing my own business, I totally forgot all that I'd ever learned. So by the time Kornelia, working with me in just one session, got me to look deeper at the numbers and where did I want to go, and actually, claiming where I wanted to go, I was filled with a sense of optimism and hope like you can't believe. It was like everything shifted for me. And I am so looking forward to our continued sessions to see how far I can really push myself to get where I've only dreamed of being, where I've never taken the dream and actually brought it into concrete existence. So thank you, Kornelia, for the work that you're doing out there. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to see where I go from here.